Now let's get to speak about what is really giving a lot of Nigerians worry, because if the association or the umbrella body of all the political parties are worried about the elections, although the federal government is promising that all is well, but the politicians are saying that there are serious security concerns and there are other allied issues that are possible to affect the election. What should we believe? Let's hear from the political parties. I'm now being joined by the national chairman of the Zenith Labour Party, Chief Dan Nwuanyanwu. He joins us from Abuja, from his office in Abuja. Thank you so much indeed, Chief Nwuanyanwu, for your time tonight. Give us an understanding. Is there something else that you know that Nigerians need to be aware of in relation to the preparations for this election? First and foremost, let's begin with the issue of security. It does look like things are worse than perhaps most Nigerians know. Is it?
Thank you, Shehu, for having me. The threat against the 2023 general election is potent. We have seen a lot of insecurity across the country, the latest being the attempt by some politicians to truncate the use of the beavers and IREV, and also taking some legal processes to get the Independent National Electoral Commission chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakub, to be removed from office and to ban him from holding public office for 10 years. First of all, they went to a court in Umuahia. They had no facts. They presented nothing. It was based on speculation. The court dismissed it. They went on appeal. The Court of Appeal dismissed it. They came back to Abuja, which was dismissed last week. Probably they may go to either Damaturu or Sokoto or anywhere, because they are on forum shopping. That reminds me of what happened in 1993, where the Association for Better Nigeria took a court process which truncated that election and the declaration of the results. So they are following that trajectory of using the court to stop the process of election, the use of beavers, and removing the INEC chairman. They know very well that the INEC chairman, the commission, the parties are resolute on this new innovation that is in place, which took about 2 years for us to get to where we are. And we want to get it to fruition. They don't want it. Most politicians in Nigeria, they don't like anything straight. They must involve a Gestapo tactics, which has been the bane of our political activity since 1999. They love the incident form, whereby they will bypass the card reader, even bypass anything in the voters register, and vote. Most of those, about 60% of those who are in office today in Nigeria, are beneficiaries of the incident form. But we have passed that stage. We are now having a system that has been tested, that is reliable. I am not saying that it is cast on stone. Even our lives cannot be said to be cast on stone. But at least it is better than what we have had since 1999. So we have that system whereby it will authenticate your PVC. It will ignite the machine to bring out your photograph with your thumbprint. You go and vote. Seamless process. If you don't pass through the beavers, you are not going to vote. And the result will be transmitted automatically from every polling unit to the INEC result viewing portal, which they also don't want. So these are some of the problems, the concern we had as political parties under the aegis of Interparty Advisory Council. So we decided to come together to raise this alarm, to draw the attention of Nigerians that we are seeing the hand of the monkey in the soup. And it is better we stand alert. Though we must commend the judiciary so far, what they have done in not allowing all those frivolous court cases to see the light of day. But they have not stopped. They will go ahead to do worse things. And I must tell you that Nigerians are waiting to see that judge that would allow or be part of this system, be part of the attempt to ensure that Beavers is knocked down, incident form is brought back, INEC chairman is removed. Why are they fighting the INEC chairman? He's not going to be in the state to cast votes. He's not going to sign any result. So why are you chasing him? Because he has shown commitment. So,
Nwuanyanwu, if I may cut in quickly. Now, you've described these people in several ways. In fact, you said they are the monkey with the hand in the soup. One thing that we need to start doing in this country is to start naming names and start shaming those who we think are capable of bringing this country to disrepute. Who are these monkeys? Who are these people? Can you give us names?
Shehu, I have given you an example of cases that were filed in court. These names exist. What we have to investigate now through the security agencies, who are their sponsors, who paid for the cases. There are individuals that went to court. I have told you the courts they went to and the outcome of the court processes. So it behoves the security agencies to unearth those behind them. Because if you look at these people, these are small fries. That was how the Association for Better Nigeria started. And the declaration of results of Hope 93 was knocked down. And that was the end of the results. That was how the winner of that election was not sworn in as president. That was Chief M.K. Abiola. And the thing took his life. They are working on the same trajectory. They are working on the same process. So I am not going to be here at Chenwu to tell you this A, B, or C. Let us pick those plaintiffs to the case. Interrogate them. If they don't want to say the truth, let us use the security system. We will get it and know those behind them. But one thing we are sure, those behind this are politicians, unpatriotic politicians, who do not want anything to be right, who do not want the electoral system to be improved. They want the old order, where you carry ballot boxes, you store ballot boxes. What is the result of the polling units will change when you get to the collation center. The train has left. Shehu, I met some parliamentarians a week before Christmas. I was walking out of Transcorp. They saw me. They called. I had Mr. Beavers. So I turned. They said, Chairman, we are calling you. I stopped. They said, I said, why are you calling me Mr. Beavers? He said, you are talking too much about the Beavers. I said, yes. Is anything wrong with it? He said, Chairman, let me tell you, we regret passing that law. They did not explain it well to us. If we had known, we wouldn't have passed it. I said, but you are entitled to some legal aids, legislative aids, you are collecting their pay. Why didn't they look at the law to interpret it for you? That is part of this problem we have. And I told them, well, the train has left the station. It is too late. He now told me they will amend it. I said, it's not for this election, and I bet you it will not work. So you can see there are different interests who do not want free, fair, credible, and transparent election. They want it in the old order. And it is difficult for somebody to bring a change in what has been benefiting him over the years, especially when that change will not be in his own interest. We are talking for common good. If you put bad people in government, they have nothing to offer. That's why we want the best. We want the best laws. We want the best persons. We want people with capacity. We want people with political will to get the right thing done. These are the people, Shehu, that are against the process. And I can assure you, we will ensure that this process comes to an end in February this year.
All right, let me ask quickly, and because you're a politician and you know the ways of politicians, can you give us an understanding and perhaps what Nigerians can do When the electoral law 2022 was being passed, there was a popular statement that was made that when there is a solution being brought into the electoral process, the politicians find ways to subvert the process. And I know that again there are plans in the works ahead of the 2023 election. What would you tell, or what can you tell Nigerians tonight that they need to look out for? The issue of vote buying is there. It doesn't look to me that we have a solution just yet to fight that. The issue of rigging the election and stealing the ballot seems to have been curtailed by the beavers. What must we do now to ensure that the sanctity of the ballot is secured in 2023, which is just 45 days away?
Yes, Shehu, I love that question, particularly the issue of vote buying. That was why we also supported this new policy of the central bank on cash movement. There is no way it will not affect those who carry huge cash to the polling units. It will affect them. And that's why you see them crying. They want it to be changed. They want it to be stepped down. And we thank Mr. President for giving approval for that. At the end of this month, 31st of January, any old naira in your notes become in your house, in your septic tank, in the farm, becomes toilet paper. So they cannot use it. And they should restrict further our access to the new notes until after the election. That is a very good policy that the central bank governor brought, which Mr. President graciously approved. As I'm saying this now, Shehu, some are looking at me saying, what nonsense is this man talking about? I am saying what will help the democratic process. You cannot continue to buy victory with stolen funds of the people. You come to the polling unit, you park your vehicle, you'll be buying votes. We have even seen those who are buying the PVC now, giving 1,000 naira to collect PVC. Shehu, that will amount to nothing because those PVCs can never be used. But you know what they're doing? They are buying PVCs from areas of their opponents where he is popular. Not that they are going to use those PVCs they have bought now on the election day, because the owner must be present, his thumbprint must be there, it must be recognized by the beavers machine before you go and vote. So the system is good. We are aware by our intel that there is an attempt, some people are in China and Dubai somewhere, working on how to penetrate the beavers. I recall the last consultation we had with INEC, they also assured us that people are also working to make sure that it is not predictable, it cannot get into it. We are having a meeting with INEC tomorrow, political parties, and we are going to interrogate some of these issues. That is to tell you how the INEC chairman works with political parties. Our interaction has been regular and frequent, whereby we bring up concerns, we discuss it. We are having another one tomorrow. Some of these concerns, we are going to interrogate it and test it tomorrow. So what I'm saying in effect is that you cannot stop people from stealing. You cannot stop people from committing crime. But on your own part, as government and establishment, is to make sure that you don't reward bad behavior, to make sure that you punish those who are involved in criminality and doing things to truncate the system. There is nowhere in the world where citizens are completely stopped from committing one crime or the other. Some people will attempt to do so, but you must checkmate them. I am happy, and the political parties are happy with the new CBN position. It will go a long way to reduce vote buying. They are crying. Even the National Assembly, they are trying to pass a law which is too late. Central banks should not agree. They should not allow it. Even if you want to increase the withdrawal limit of citizens, let it be after the general election. Nobody should take Nigerians anymore for a ride. We are satisfied
Nwuanyanwu, so let me follow up on what you said in respect my question on vote buying. And this is what Chief Afe Babalola said. He has a fear. And I mean, the elder statesman seems to have a very strong position on his stance in respect of the election. And this is the fear of Chief Afe Babalola. He said the election, the presidential election, will be won by politicians with deep pocket. He says individuals with capacity, ideas might not win. Only new constitution will save Nigeria from collapse. The fear of Chief Afe Babalola is that the issue of vote buying will prevail in 2023 and the deep pockets might have their way. What do you have to say to that?
Sorry, I didn't get the last lap of your question. But I think you are referring to what the learned silk, elder statesman Afe Babalola said about vote buying. Yes, he may be correct. At the same time, he may also not be right. You see, in the past, it was possible. Now, we have what the CBN has done. I'm hammering on it. Unless the CBN, suo moto, on its own, decides to sabotage its own policy, that is where Chief Afe Babalola's position will be credible. But if they stick and insist on what is, a lot of people will not have money to buy votes. Don't forget, Shehu, a lot of people are still afraid to bring out the money they have stuck somewhere. It will be useless in the next 2 weeks. They can no longer use it. And they cannot just get to the bank and start withdrawing huge sums of money to buy votes. And majority of the voters are not on accounts that you start transferring. So that is a good innovation. I'm not too sure Malone Silk, our senior elder statesman, is aware of these positions. Yes, as I said, you will not stop somebody from committing a crime. They will attempt to. But you have to checkmate as much as possible what is humanly possible. Politicians are smart people. And people put in Nigeria, politicians put in Nigeria, most politicians put in Nigeria are different from politicians put in any other part of the world. What they do here, you cannot have it in other climes. And that is why this election must be a determining factor to retire many of them, so that they can allow fresh air into the system, whereby we will practice politics without bitterness, whereby Nigerians will have the right to choose their leaders. We have never had that since, just in few cases. In most of the times, it's that through ballot buying, ballot stuffing, ballot box stuffing, and so on and so forth. That's how they came to power. And they don't want a change because it will not be in their own interest. But that law has been passed. Mr. President has signed, assented to the law. It is effective. INEC is determined. INEC is determined to push it to the end. INEC has the political parties' support. Let me say all political parties. If there is a political party that is not giving us support, based on what we said, she'll come out and say so. But the press conference we addressed yesterday was for 18 registered political parties. We met and we took that decision. If a political party is opposed to our position for the use of beavers, for the use of INEC results viewing portal, for INEC chairman to remain with these commissioners to push through this system, let such political party come out to say so they disagree with IPAC. But as far as what we did yesterday, all the political parties are in tandem with the contents of the document.
All right. Chief Nwuanyanwu, yeah, let's take a breather. I'm still, we've not gotten to the point of the security, the breakdown of the attacks on INEC facilities. We perhaps also anchor on that matter when we return from this break. And everyone also, let's hope that we will be speaking tonight with one of the Labour Party spokesperson, and we'll be discussing Peter Obi's homecoming. What does this mean for the Peter Obi Dati ticket and the 2023 election? Through me, everyone. We'll be right back shortly. Welcome back, everyone. It's my guys that speak into my ear sometimes say things that make me happy, and that's why you see the smiles on my face. When you're not seeing me smiling, maybe they're telling me things that are not making me happy. But it's a good day anyways. Well, let's get back to the conversation. Everyone has been speaking with the national chairman of the Zenith Labour Party, Chief Dan Nwuanyanwu. Now, let's get to the point of the security of materials, INEC officials, and of course the facilities of INEC. There's been series of attacks on those facilities, and this is one of the issues that IPAC raised yesterday. There was a warning though that one of an INEC officials raised a few days ago, who said that if this trend continues, it might force their hand in shifting the election, and that is not good news at all. Does this bother you in any way?
Yes, it should bother every Nigerian, not only myself. Everything is in place to get this election moving. Everything is in place. It is now left for the security agencies to provide security. You cannot take a ward, a youth corper or anybody to put in a place that he may not come back. Everything shown on the part of INEC political parties, we are good to go. But if, for one reason or the other, due to security reasons, things like this is heightened close to the election, there is need for us to be concerned. And that time, it has left our threshold. It has left our purview. It is now within the security agencies to do what they're supposed to do. I don't want to anticipate what will happen, but I pray we don't get to that point. Security is key. Adequate preparations have been made. INEC is ready. Political parties are ready. And we are good to go. The issue is the security. I cannot even go and vote when I'm not sure that after voting I will leave the polling unit. And I want to remind Ishewu, I'm not only the national chairman of Zenith Labour Party. Please introduce me properly. I'm also a presidential candidate of the party. So I am talking on two positions. So let us try and get the security agencies to work. Let them ensure that we have security from the polling unit till every member, every citizen of Nigeria with PVC votes and leaves. This is the problem we are going to have. But as for the arrangements, everything has been done, everything has been put in place. Security agencies should please wake up and do what they're supposed to do.
Perhaps let's anchor on this point. The endorsement that we have been saying by elder statesman, you are also in, you have your hat in the ring. I'm not sure if it's exactly this hat that you have on, but I know your name is on the ballot. But these endorsements have been coming, and those who have criticized those endorsements, that look, these elder statesmen should have kept their position to themselves. Let me get your take on that. And perhaps also you can also mention, I usually don't like to ask double barrel question, but because of our time, you might also be able to deal with this. You are all from the southeast region of the country, and there seems to be some concerns because most of the attacks that we have seen on INEC facilities are from the southeast region. What do you think is the solution?
Well, about the endorsement of certain candidates over the others, I don't have a problem with it. It is your right to do so. And most of the times, it will not work the way you think. So anybody, any citizen, whether senior citizen or an association, can endorse anybody. We are going to the market to seek for votes. Shehu, the Hausa man will say, Gafili Gadoki. That is the horse, that is the field. We are going for the race. There is no need for anybody to be worried over any endorsement. Now, as for the Southeast insecurity in the Southeast, I have made my position very, very clear. Right from the time there was jailbreak in Imo facility at Owerri prisons. My position was very clear, and that's still my position. The insecurity you have seen in the Southeast was imported because of where we are going now. So that they would demarket people like us from the Southeast that we cannot be president because there is insecurity in our place. It was imported. And the difference from that time and now is that they have now been able to get some locals who are now doing this dirty job. As at the time we had the jailbreak in Owerri, those people were not Igbos. They were not IPOP. They were not ESN. I said it then, Google, you will see my position. But I have discovered that will be exposing them too much, those who did it. Now they have succeeded in recruiting locals, never do wells, charlatans, who have nothing to do, no skill, no education. They are the ones doing the killings today in the Southeast. So, and the intendment has not changed. The intendment is to demarket the Southeast so that every Nigerian will see, how can you be president when there is insecurity in your place? As if that is the only place we have had such a thing, which is a new thing in the Southeast. What is happening in the Southeast is alien to us. It is not part of our culture. It is not part of our tradition. And somebody like us will have condemned it in its entirety. So let anybody take it the way he likes. This is not our doing.
Chief Nwuanyanwu, please do find time. Let's discuss your agenda as a presidential candidate. I was discussing with you earlier on. This conversation is about the 2023 and your position as a national chairman. Do find time. Let's sit down and talk to you as a national, as the presidential candidate of your party. Thank you so much indeed for your time.